Hi y'all. So just wanted to show you how I do my palette. This is a Stay Wet palette. I bought it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby's, I forget, one of the two. It costs about $15 for the palette itself, which is just a plastic tray with a very tight fitting lid. And I believe they recommend, or maybe I did it years ago and it just stuck with me, but you put a tiny little bead of Vaseline on the edge, and it lasts a long time, but it just helps because it is such a tight fitting lid. It helps you to get the lid on and off, and it keeps a good seal. I'm fortunate enough, I have overflow space in an extra refrigerator that I keep mine in the refrigerator when I'm not using it, which the reason I do that is I think it helps to keep the paints a little bit longer, but the most important reason is because here in South Louisiana there are so many mold spores in the air. When you keep things damp and dark with the lid on it, and no air getting to it, and warm temperatures, I've had my palettes get moldy before, which is really gross, and it smells bad when you open the lid, and I don't know what it's doing to the canvas. It might mold still be in there or something and start eating at the canvas and stuff, so it's not a good idea. So anyway, the palette itself I think was $15 or $16, and then you buy the Stay Wet sheets that fit in it. And this palette right here is probably 5 weeks I've had this. The paints stay liquid, movable. I scrape off, you can see right here where I scrape off parts, of the paint and put new paint out if I want to change colors and whatnot. But the project that I'm working on right now, I really need my paint and my colors to be clear and pure. And there's so much stuff up underneath, and because it stays wet, it contaminates the colors. So thrifty me, I want to try to save as much of this other stuff as I can. So you soak these sheets, these Stay Wet sheets, in water for about 10 minutes, and I just soak it in this thing, and then empty out the extra water. And I use 3 paper towels. It fits perfectly when you fold them in half. 3 full sheets of paper towels, and put that underneath it, and that underneath this sheet, and it will keep it moist and keep your paints moist for weeks and weeks and weeks. I do, if I've been painting a long time, sometimes it'll dry out a little bit, so I just lift the sheet and spray water underneath, just to re-moisten it. Anyway, I love this thing. It works so great for acrylics. So I'm gonna save this green, and I creature of habit, I guess, or muscle memory or something, I'm not sure. I pretty much lay my palette out the same way, the colors, the arrangement of them. And I do like to put my pile of white in a long string, because when you dip your brush in here, you might do your blue, want a little white in it, so you get it from this end. If you've got yellow, you want to do it down here, because you don't want the two to mix, because you'll end up getting green. So that's how I do it. And it works well, instead of just one big pile, a round pile. Wipe your palette knife off. This one is Cad Red Deep. I'm not going to get it all, and I will end up wasting some of it, but I'm not losing all of it. This is Cad Red Light. This is some black. Another thing you can do, because these paper towels get pricey too after a while, is for something like this, just to wipe off your palette knife, you can use toilet tissue. That works too. This is burnt umber. Always put that in that corner. And always put ultramarine blue right next to the burnt umber, because I mix those two colors together a lot to get a good dark color. And this was some neutral gray. I don't usually do this. I usually mix grays, but I was just playing around with this color. So this is my little overflow spot over here. And this was a background color I mixed for my Bird of Paradise painting. So this was a custom color. I'm just gonna put it over here in my little overflow area too. These colors are contaminated. And this was a color that kind of just an overflow pile when I was scraping up the green area and trying to get some pure yellows. So I just kind of, this is just sludge, but it's good sludge. So I'm gonna keep it too. Real pale green. Anyway, that's how I do it. I'll just roll this up, throw it in the trash. Good to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd be honored if you'd leave me a comment or a like below.